Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell was that?
Anyway, nobody wants to hear us sing.
I thought that was great.
Nobody wants to hear us sing.
I want to keep going.
But Nickelback sucks. Okay, I just want to say I hate that band. They're terrible.
Well, he just sounds like he's just constantly.
He's a whiner.
He's just constantly having a bowel movement.
He's a
just
whiner.
Constantly.
He's a whiner. I don't like Nickelback, but hey, there's a lot of people out there that do. I saw them in concert here in Vegas several years ago. They sucked. But anyway, why do I bring up Nickelback? Why do I bring up that stupid photograph story? Well, I'm so glad you asked. If you did, JD. I don't know if you did. But Twitter removed a video meme that President Donald Trump tweeted yesterday after getting a copyright complaint about the video, which contained an altered music clip from the rock band Nickelback. Trump's tweet has not been removed yet, but the video can no longer be played. So if you go on Donald Trump's Twitter page right now and you see the video that he posted, there's nothing there because they removed it. According to Nickelback, they wanted it removed. The edited clip was from the music video, as I mentioned, the 2005 horrible song, Photograph, and it targeted former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. And I'm looking at the tweet right now. It says, look at this photograph. Donald Trump wrote that. Look at this photograph. And then it says the video is not displayed, and the dummy still has the tweet up there. They haven't deleted the tweet. You'd think somebody from the Trump administration would have deleted the tweet entirely, but no, of course not. They've got other things to worry about. The tweet, of course, was part of Trump's ongoing attacks on the vice president. You know, I really didn't get a chance to talk about, and by the way, this stuff happens all the time. When some of these politicians are playing songs and these artists are like, no, don't want you playing my songs at your event. This sort of stuff happens all the time. I just find it fascinating that the tweet is still up there with no video. But, gosh, you know, I really didn't get a chance to respond to the whole Danny Tarkanian segment. Here's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
I want to talk about Brian. I want to talk about Bernie Sanders having a heart attack.
We'll get to that.
Being in a Las Vegas hospital.
We'll get to that.
And not
we'll get to that.
Suspending an ad for $1.3 million in Iowa and stopping his meetings.
We'll get to that.
All right.
Danny Tarkanian was going after the Bidens. I like Danny. I always appreciate it when he comes on. He has no problem with Donald Trump, clearly in that segment. He has no problem with Donald Trump asking the Ukrainian president to open up an investigation into the Bidens, which I consider dirt. That's asking dirt on a political opponent. There's no mistake about it. It's something that negative about the Bidens that could come up that could hurt the Bidens. That's the definition of dirt.
The problem was, you can think of what you want, but it wasn't a shakedown. It wasn't.
In your opinion, I disagree.
It was not a shakedown.
I disagree.
He said, look into this.
It's not a shakedown. So let me ask you. And
then he said, oh, by the way, the Ukrainian president said, oh, by the way, our prosecutors were bad. Now they're good. And he goes, oh, well, if they were bad, then that means that they were bad during the Biden investigation.
Let me ask you a question. If it's not a shakedown, then why did
it was not a shakedown?
Let me ask you this question.
He didn't ask for dirt. He asked to open the investigation because he felt like it wasn't closed properly.
So answer this question for me then. If it's not asking for dirt, then why did several of Donald Trump's personal attorneys go to the Ukraine asking for dirt on Joe Biden? Please explain that then. If this is not about getting dirt on Joe Biden, why did they do that?
And then Giuliani got involved after, again, the Ukrainian president introduced all this.
This has been going on for 2 years.
He stated this is an issue. We had poor prosecutors. Now we have good prosecutors.
Rudy Giuliani is the personal lawyer to Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't go the government route. Donald Trump asked his personal attorneys to go to the Ukraine to get information on the Bidens. If you don't think that is trying to get dirt on a political opponent, I don't know what is. It's plain simple. But anyway, we can disagree on that, but I think it's pretty clear, pretty simple. But anyway, this is my problem with Danny Tarkanian and many Republicans that think this is not a big deal. They go after the Bidens. In that interview, Jerry Tarkanian said that Hunter Biden had cocaine in his system, made him out to be a drug addict. Now, there's no proof to back that up. There's no evidence to back that up. But people on the right it's okay for them to accuse someone on the left, accusations with no proof to back it up. That's okay. And then he backtracked, and then he said, well, Hunter Biden, he had cocaine on him. That's why he was kicked out of the military. By the way, there's no evidence to back that up either. But even if that was, and this is the point I try to make to all you Republicans out there that support Trump, even if that was the case, let's just say hypothetically that Hunter Biden was a drug addict. Let's just say that Hunter Biden...
Totally irrelevant.
Let's just say...
It doesn't matter.
Right. Well, that's my point. if Hunter Biden was selling drugs, if Hunter Biden was a convict on the loose, if Joe Biden was a convict, it is completely irrelevant to this conversation. And the reason why it's irrelevant, we are talking about a possible impeachable offense. We are talking about the transcript. And he didn't want to answer the question.
If Hunter Biden was selling drugs to the military like Frank Lucas did through a connection that his father set up, that would be something to talk
that's
about.
Different.
But him being a drug addict has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Well, and Danny,
and doesn't change
people like
anything.
Danny Tarkanian like to bring stuff like that up. They want to deflect from the actual issue. And what is the actual issue? We're talking about the whistleblower complaint, and we're talking about that phone call with the Ukrainian president. That's exactly what we're talking about here. There are plenty of Republicans that have said that they support an inquiry because they want to get more information. And I applaud them for doing that. Obviously, Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell are two cowards who are wearing the Donald Trump knee pads. But that is my problem. And listen, I'm glad Danny came on because it makes my point for me. And we like having him on. I like a different point of view. But he made my point for me, and that is Republicans want to deflect from the actual issue. He never answered the question. And the question that I asked him specifically was, forget about what the Bidens did or didn't do. Forget about the prosecutor. Forget about all that stuff. I asked him a very simple question. I said, do you think that is it your position that there is no chance that Donald Trump brought up Joe Biden and in trying to open up an investigation of the Bidens, and that had nothing to do with the fact that Biden is a political opponent? Danny Tarkanian failed to answer that question. And the reason why he didn't answer it, in my personal opinion, because he knows Trump is caught. Absolutely 100%. You cannot tell me that a big reason why Donald Trump brought up Joe Biden in that conversation is because Joe Biden is a political opponent, period. And if that is the case, which clearly it is to anybody who's not biased, then that is a possible impeachable offense, period. It's clear, cut, and dry. It's clear, cut, and dry in the transcript. It's clear, cut, and dry. What more do you want? And he brings up Adam Schiff and you know, the lies he said. Well, even if Adam Schiff is a complete liar, even if Adam Schiff was a child molester, it still doesn't change the fact that Donald Trump asked for help from the Ukrainians into looking into the Bidens, period. And I love it when I hear these Republicans try to backtrack. We're going to continue to monitor this story. I promise you we will. And tomorrow on the program, we'll be joined by Michael Avenatti, and we'll get his opinions on what's the news of the week. And, yeah, there's been a lot of it. It seems to change on a daily basis. So we will continue to monitor this story 100%. Michael Avenatti will be joining us on the show tomorrow. Also, we are going to continue to cover this lawsuit that it seems like there's finally an end to it. MGM has agreed to around an $800 million settlement. It involves at least 2,500 victims of the Route 91 festival. You heard from a woman this hour that lost her eye in that live press conference we covered in San Diego. Now, I don't know how that's going to be distributed. I would imagine it's a case-by-case basis. If somebody loses their eye and somebody has, sprains their ankle, I would think that there's a big difference there. So I don't know exactly how the money is going to be allocated. We'll try to get more information on that tomorrow, but it certainly is a good thing for the victims, and I'm happy for the victims that had to go through this horrible tragedy. It's something that you never forget. 58 people lost their lives. I would hope, at least, that, if you're a family member, a wife, a husband, God forbid, a father, a son, daughter, and you lost a parent or you lost a loved one there, yeah, you deserve some compensation. There's no question about it. Now, MGM doesn't have to admit fault in this lawsuit, but I think we could all read between the lines that absolutely, in my personal opinion, MGM was at fault partially. But the person we blame for this thing, obviously, is Paddock. Okay, guys, we got to take a 21-hour break. As I mentioned, Michael Avenatti will be joining us tomorrow on the show. We'll continue to monitor this when it comes to Donald Trump. We'll continue to obviously monitor this lawsuit and the ramifications of it. And we'll try to get some victims to speak up and what does this mean to them. All that and much more tomorrow on the show. I am headed to the Shriners Hospital for Children's Open. I'm going to watch Phil and Brooks Koepka and all those guys. Have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.